Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of the Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special preference to IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. Tease me, see that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, still giving away a free flamethrower with every IT purchase. Yes, it does come with a fun Picatinny rail adapter, so you can mount it to any standard AR-15, like all awesome accessories can be. Go to toppingtechnologies.com and click the flamethrower button at the top to learn more, or click the URL in the video description. Lastly, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part of the podcast, you have BYD Brazil. Well, they're shutting down their plant due to slave-like conditions. Now, BYD is the fastest electric car manufacturer. Well, I guess perhaps not 0 to 60, but fastest in terms of growth rate on the planet. They're quickly surpassing Tesla in terms of number of units sold, and most companies are skeptical, can they even compete with them, because hard to beat China when it comes to, what's the nice way of saying ripping off, replicating technology and mass production. Now, this comes with us thanks to perhaps the most appropriately named website of all time, Electrek. Though no affiliation with Star Trek, so perhaps not the best named website, but nevertheless, specifically Peter Johnson, he's right over there. And there you can see, well, I would never buy it because it only has 2 pedals. It's an electric vehicle. It's no, it's not a manual with a stick shift and 3 pedals, so not for me, but I do like the green there. Green vehicles do grow on me. I like the green that they chose for that BYD vehicle, but nevertheless, they say, quote, BYD's new EV plant in Brazil suddenly halted over quote-unquote slavery worker conditions. Now, they say, quote, construction at BYD's new EV plant in Brazil was suddenly halted after authorities found Chinese workers in quote-unquote slave-like conditions. The workers were hired in China by another firm, and BYD has since cut ties. BYD and the firm are now saying the term slavery was unjustly used, and some translations may have been misunderstood. Now, here's an update that they have. They say, quote, the article has been updated with the latest information, including a statement from Xinjiang Group and comments from BYD General Manager of Public Relations, Li Yunfei. They say, according to the statement from Public Ministry of Labor, 163 workers at the construction site of BYD's new EV plant in El Salvador, Brazil, were, quote, being held in conditions analogous to slavery. Construction sites were halted after the findings. According to authorities, Xinjiang Group, one of the contractors BYD hired to build the new EV plant, hired workers in China. Now they say they cut the ties. Now, the vice president of BYD in Brazil, Alexandre Boldi, says, quote, the company, quote, remains, quote, committed to full and compliance with Brazil legislation, especially with regard to protect workers' rights and human dignity. Here you can see some close-ups of the BYD vehicles there on stage, which kind of looks like a bastardized Chevy Spark, but nevertheless, they say the MPT statement detail and extreme slave-like work conditions. For example, they had 1 bathroom for every 31 workers, forcing some of them to wake up at 4 a.m. to get ready for work at 5:30 a.m. They slept on without mattresses on the bed, and kitchens were, quote, in alarming conditions. They also know that if a worker quit after 6 months, they would leave the country without any pay after factoring in the cost of the round-trip plane ticket, which, yeah, it is also fascinating from a cost perspective. It was cheaper to have, well, I think we know why it was cheaper. I don't think they were paying them too much. They flew in labor from basically across the globe to complete this. Here you see a close-up on those BYD trucks, which, yeah, 1 to 31, that's a pretty rough ratio. 4 a.m. just be ready by 5:30 a.m. They said that BYD said it had held a, quote, detailed review over the conditions the past weeks. The EV giant asked Xinjiang several times to improve its conditions. The joint virtual hearing of MPT and MTE is scheduled for early January, and they also have on-site inspections have not been ruled out. BYD's new EV plant is set to begin production early this year. Let's see. Now, they also say that Xinjiang Group said its portrayal of employees working in slave-like conditions was inconsistent, and some of the translations may have been misunderstood. He says, quote, being unjustly labeled as enslaved has made our employees feel that their dignity has been insulted and their human rights violated, which I'm not laughing at the conditions. I'm laughing at the fact that they're saying, oh, yeah, as a translation, which many words can be mistranslated, but one of the very, if not the only consistency along many translations, the numbers, and 1 bathroom for 31 workers, depending on the frequency. I mean, That seems to be a little out of whack. I don't know. And again, is that a single stall like a porter john or a porta potty, or is it like an actual restroom facility? I mean, if it's just one porta potty, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that ratio is going to work out too well. Now they say that again. They're this company is saying us describing the situation also quote seriously hurt the dignity of the Chinese people. It's according to Xinjiang, spelled Jinjiang, and I believe that's pronunciation, not attempting to deliberately mispronounce it. They said BYD's general manager of public relations, Li Yunfei, reposted a statement that, quote, foreign forces and some other members of the media were deliberately smearing Chinese brands, which, I mean, it's pretty easy to do. There's a lot of material to work with. Well, build quality one, but it's slowly improving. I mean, they used to be a joke. Now, I was about to say they're as reliable as some American brands. That bar is pretty low, but yeah, they're coming a long way, and it'll be interesting to see if they actually have to pay any fines or if the investigation, has more hard evidence of this. But not a good look. And in terms of public relations and BYD, the only two things really stopping them in terms of global adoption, if let's say there's no tariffs, and which I do suspect without massive tariffs, they'll just take over pretty much every continent in terms of EV sales. But there are some people who don't want to buy it for cybersecurity reasons because then it's a Chinese manufacturer. They're not exactly known for I mean, it's kind of it's just you just know it's just filled with malware and spyware, even more than some stuff that the USA does, just saying something. So it's usually someone will argue the national security, then others will argue the human rights, human dignity in terms of on average the working conditions of China, or as Trump would say, China are not the best. So again, they have a couple things working against them in terms of why someone might not buy it. I mean, that being said, people also buy iPhones every single day, but nevertheless, it'll be interesting to see what this has in terms of effects on their sales. Again, they are one of the fastest, most successful companies. They also have the Chinese government behind them, bolstering their finances, I suspect, and all their capabilities. But definitely not good news for again everyone already. Usually have that pejorative view of Chinese manufacturing and Chinese brands when it comes to human rights in general. But this doesn't help. I mean, this certainly doesn't help reinforce that stereotype. And let me know, do you think these, I mean, again, we'll see, maybe they'll have some photographic evidence or we'll see what the final investigation shows, but do you tend to believe the working conditions as they've been read today? And would that halt you from buying a BYD vehicle? Let me know, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button, I really appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.